Okay, in this lesson, we are going to start with an instruction that has a command and a math operator and make a diagram out of that. So I'm going to open Diagrammer and let's use the message, let's see, set H to the sum of 16 and y core. All right, and I'm not going to go through and look each of these procedures up in the vocabulary. I'll leave that for you as a different exercise. So what I'm going to do is, I know that set H is a command. Oops. Set H is a command. I know that it needs one input, which is a number. So let's draw that. Okay, set H. Then foo first tries to evaluate set H. He knows he needs an input. He got here. He knows he has set H. He knows he needs an input. He starts right here looking for input, and he sees, oh, I have a reporter. So this guy needs his input. And sum, let's make the diagram for sum. Sum needs two inputs. Sum is a reporter that needs two inputs, and its inputs have to be numbers. Let's move this up a bit and draw the tank for that. Okay, so here's sum. All right. The first input to sum is going to be 16. So right after the word sum, foo goes and tries to find the first input and finds a 16. Can draw that and say, okay, great, I have my first input. I'll put it here, and I'm going to draw an arrow too. Let me see. So I have 16 as my first input to sum. So you see we got all the way over here before we got our first opportunity to actually pass something. And now we get to, we're looking for our second input to sum, and we find y core. So we have yet another reporter. Let's draw that. I'm going to move the turtle up a little bit over here, and we're going to draw y core. Y core is a reporter with 0 inputs that reports the y coordinate. Let's take that and put it right there. And let's see, what is the y core of this guy? Open his backpack. We see his y core is 130. So we could go in here and draw 130. Okay, I'm going to have to move him, but I'll move him back to 130 so we can experiment. Let's see. So 130 is the output of Y core, and it's going to be the input to sum. Let's see, it'll be the second input to sum. Let's draw an arrow. I'm going to draw a couple of arrows because we need 2 more arrows. Alright, so I'm going to put this arrow right here, and this arrow right here, just to show what's going on. Okay, so sum, so after Y core reports 130, let me make sure this guy's still at 130. I'm going to set the Y core to 130. That way we can test it later on. So now Y core reports as 130. Sum already has 16 for its first input, so now sum has both inputs, 16 and 130. So sum is going to add 16 plus 130 and get 146. Let's try that. Okay. Oh, I'm going to have to move this guy again. Okay. Okay, 146. Right there. I don't know what this thing is. I'm going to get rid of it. And we're going to need a couple more arrows, aren't we? Let's see. The pointer. Okay. Draw arrow and draw another arrow. And move out of the way. Here we go. So we have that output, 146, which becomes the input to set H. So what should be happening, let me again make sure our Y core is right. So we want the Y core to be 130 for this example. Oh, that's why I got that, because this pen was down. Let me put his pen up for a second and get rid of that. I just don't like having that line there. Okay. So now his pen is up. His Y core is still 130, so that's good. So now what should happen is Y core should report 130 because that's where what his Y core is right now. Sum already has 16 as its input, so as soon as it gets to 130, it's going to output 146. 146 will then be the input to set H. So we should see this heading, this number right here, we should see the heading change to 146. So let's see if that's what happens. And that's what it did.